Welcome back to Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, the channel where every discovery feels like opening a chest of gold, where history breathes in your hands, and where ordinary-looking coins transform into extraordinary treasures that can rewrite your destiny. Today, I'm going to take you on a journey that most collectors only dream of, a journey through 6 of the rarest, most breathtaking coins that are setting today's auction market on fire. These are not just coins, these are living pieces of American history, and each one hides a story so powerful, so full of mystery and suspense, that by the end of this video, you will realize how these tiny pieces of metal can carry values that rival fortunes, treasures that can literally make you feel like you've struck gold. And let me say this right now, I never exaggerate on this channel. Everything I bring you is fresh, newly updated, trustful, and faithful to the truth. What you are about to see today is not a fantasy, it's reality. Coins that are commanding unbelievable amounts of money in today's auction houses. Coins that are highly demanded. Coins that have already changed lives. So buckle up, because this isn't just a video, it's a treasure hunt. By the time we reach the end, you'll see why collectors, investors, and treasure seekers are racing after these coins as if they were the very keys to untold wealth. Coin number 1. Now let's begin with the first gem on our list, the 1930 Mercury dime without mint mark. A coin that is more than just a beautiful artifact. It's a living witness of America's resilience, artistry, and hidden treasures. The Mercury dime, officially called the Winged Liberty Head dime, was struck by the U.S. Mint between 1916 and 1945, designed by the legendary sculptor Adolph A. Weinman. This coin is one of the most loved and most artistic coins in all of American numismatics. The obverse features Liberty wearing a winged cap, symbolizing freedom of thought and the soaring spirit of America. To the untrained eye, she looks like the Roman god Mercury, which is how this coin earned its famous nickname. But collectors know better. This is not just Mercury, it's Lady Liberty herself, captured in a design so beautiful that it has stood the test of time and captured the hearts of generations. The 1930 Mercury dime without a mint mark was struck in Philadelphia, crafted from 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it a radiant shine and durability. Every time you hold one, you are holding silver, real wealth, and history intertwined in one piece of metal. The coin measures 17.9 millimeters, weighs 2.5 grams, and carries with it not only value in silver, but also the monumental value of rarity and demand. Now, what makes this particular 1930 issue so thrilling is not only its age, but its survival. Most coins from this year were heavily circulated during the Great Depression, a time when every single dime could mean the difference between a meal or hunger, between survival or despair. Because of that, very few examples remain in fine or very fine condition today. To see one in beautiful, very fine condition, with sharp details on Liberty's wings and distinct lines on the fasces on the reverse, is nothing short of breathtaking. But here's where the story becomes electric. Rarity is the lifeblood of collecting. While millions of Mercury dimes were minted, the 1930 no mint mark version in top preservation is a completely different story. Most were lost, melted down, or worn to nothing in circulation. Only a handful have survived in the condition we're talking about today. This is why collectors are racing after it, because it's not just another dime, it's a dime that transforms into a treasure the moment you see its condition. Now let's talk about what everyone is waiting for, the current market value. Brace yourself, because the figure is staggering. A 1930 Mercury dime without mint mark, in very fine condition, is commanding a market value of around $177,500 in today's auction market. Yes, you heard me right, over $177,000 for a single dime. And let me make it clear, this is not fiction. This is not a dream. This is reality. These prices are updated, real, and happening right now. This dime is literally the kind of discovery that makes you feel like you have unearthed a treasure chest. Imagine this. What looks like just a piece of pocket change is in fact a fortune in your hands. The kind of fortune that is climbing higher and higher as demand continues to skyrocket. And here's the thrilling part. Its value isn't stopping here. The market value is increasing day by day. Collectors know that coins of this caliber do not stay stagnant. With every auction, with every new record sale, the price ticks upward, cementing the 1930 Mercury dime without mint mark as one of the crown jewels of American numismatics. Wait for time, and you will see this coin will continue to climb in value. If you have one, consider yourself blessed because you're holding a treasure that the world wants. For collectors, here's a crucial tip. If you're hunting for this dime, always look for sharp details on Liberty's cap and wings, as well as strong vertical lines on the fasces. Avoid examples that are too worn out because the true value is in the preservation. And be wary, counterfeits exist, but the weight, metallic composition, and sharpness of design will reveal the genuine from the fake. Always get expert certification because once certified, this dime transforms from a curiosity to a certified treasure. In conclusion, the 1930 Mercury dime without mint mark is more than just a coin. It is a story, a legacy, and a treasure rolled into one. It's a coin that represents America's struggles during the Depression, yet shines as a beacon of artistry and rarity. Owning one is like having a fortune folded into your pocket, a piece of history that is alive and growing in value with each passing day. And here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, I bring you the freshest, most faithful updates on coins exactly like this. So you know the truth and nothing but the truth. Coin number 2. And now, as we continue this treasure hunt together, it's time to unlock another gem. A coin that carries not only history, but also a strange, mysterious beauty that makes collectors' hearts skip a beat. The coin I'm talking about is none other than the 1941 Mercury dime without mint mark, a piece that tells a story of wartime America, survival, and hidden value far beyond what anyone could imagine. The Mercury dime design, as I told you earlier, is the work of Adolph A. Weinman, one of the most celebrated artists of the early 20th century. The obverse shows Liberty with wings upon her cap, a symbol of free thought, a soaring spirit, and the very essence of American liberty during one of the most turbulent times in world history. By 1941, the United States was standing at the edge of World War II. While the nation had not yet entered the conflict, the winds of war were blowing across the globe, and every single coin minted during that period was part of a nation preparing for something bigger than itself. Now, this specific 1941 Mercury dime, without mint mark, was minted in Philadelphia, struck in the classic composition of 90% silver and 10% copper. That means, like all Mercury dimes, it's not just currency, it's silver, real wealth preserved in your hands. It weighs 2.5 grams, measures 17.9 millimeters, and carries the same fasces on the reverse, symbolizing unity and strength, bound by olive branches of peace. But here's where this coin becomes fascinating. The specimen we're talking about today carries a dark black shade across its surface. This isn't a flaw, this isn't a weakness, this is character. This shade tells the story of circulation, of time, of the hands it passed through, and the mysterious journey it has taken since 1941. Collectors prize such uniqueness because it gives the coin an identity. What makes the 1941 dime especially important in today's auction market is the condition. While millions were minted, most have long since been melted for their silver or circulated to the point of destruction. But a 1941 Mercury dime in circulated condition, yet carrying such a distinct black tone surface, is extremely rare. The combination of its originality, its age, and its preserved detail makes it a true standout in the collecting world. This isn't just any circulated dime, it's one that collectors would chase for years to find. Now here's where suspense turns into shock, the current market value. Remember, we are not talking fiction here. We are talking truth, updated and real, in today's auction houses. A 1941 Mercury dime, without mint mark, with its circulated yet beautifully shaded black tone condition, is valued at around $145,500 right now. Let that sink in. A coin that most people would overlook, perhaps even pass off as ordinary, is in fact a treasure worth more than $145,000. This is the kind of coin that doesn't just make you feel wealthy, it makes you feel like you are holding a piece of fortune itself. And don't think for one second that this is the end of the story. The demand for Mercury dimes, especially rare survivors like this one, is only increasing. The market value is climbing steadily, day after day. This is why seasoned collectors are investing in such coins, because they know that these are treasures that do not fade with time. Wait for time and you will see. it will climb higher, stronger, and brighter in value. This coin is not a memory, it is a living treasure chest, and those who own it are sitting on wealth that is increasing while they sleep. For collectors, here's a golden tip. When hunting for a 1941 Mercury dime without mint mark, always check the strike detail on the fasces on the reverse and Liberty's winged cap on the obverse. Even in circulated condition, sharp details matter. And if you find a coin with unique toning, like the black shade we're talking about, it's not a flaw, it's a signature of time, a mark of uniqueness that can skyrocket its desirability. Always get such coins certified by a trusted grading service, because once certified, the treasure becomes undeniable. In conclusion, the 1941 Mercury dime, without mint mark, with its mysterious black shade and circulated survival, is a masterpiece of history and rarity. It whispers stories of pre-war America, it gleams with the silver of real wealth, and it commands a price that rivals fortunes. Owning such a coin is like holding history and treasure rolled into one. And here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, you know you can always trust that what I tell you is fresh, real, and faithful to the truth. Because these coins are not just collectibles, they are treasures that continue to grow in value day after day. Coin number 3. As we move deeper into this journey of hidden treasures, let me reveal a coin that is often whispered about in collector circles, a coin that hides behind the shadow of history, yet shines with a brilliance that cannot be denied. The 1931 Mercury dime without mint mark is one of those rare survivors that reminds us how sometimes the most overlooked years can produce the greatest treasures. The Mercury dime series, struck between 1916 and 1945, is legendary. Each year carries its own story, and the 1931 issue comes from a time when America was locked in the grip of the Great Depression. The economy was collapsing, people were scraping every last cent to survive. And silver coins were not seen as collectibles. They were seen as lifelines. Most Mercury dimes from this era were spent, worn, and eventually lost forever. Yet a few, just a rare few, managed to survive in very fine condition, preserved enough to reveal the artistry of Adolph A. Weinman's timeless design. On the obverse, Lady Liberty wears her winged cap, symbolizing free thought and the indomitable American spirit. Even in very fine condition, the sharpness of those wings and the features of Liberty's face still radiate a sense of strength and beauty. On the reverse, the fasces, representing unity and strength, stands proudly, surrounded by olive branches of peace. This balance of power and peace is one of the most profound messages ever placed on a coin, and the 1931 Mercury dime captures it perfectly. Now here's where it gets exciting, the rarity factor. The 1931 Mercury dime without mint mark was struck in Philadelphia, but the mintage was relatively small compared to surrounding years. Add to that the economic crisis, and what you get is a coin that saw brutal circulation. Very few survived in high grades. And when you hold one today in very fine condition, you're not just holding silver, you're holding a coin that defied the odds of history. Collectors know that 1931 is a key date in the Mercury dime series. The scarcity is real and the demand is hotter than ever. While other years flood the market, 1931 stands apart like a rare gem. When a coin like this appears at auction, collectors battle fiercely for it, driving prices to incredible heights. And speaking of heights, here comes the jaw-dropping reality. A 1931 Mercury dime, without mint mark in very fine condition, is commanding a market value of about $166,500 in today's auction market. Yes, that's right, over $166,000 for a single dime. Let that sink in. What once was a coin worth 10 cents during the Depression now stands as a treasure chest in your hand, a fortune that only continues to rise. This is the magic of numismatics. Ordinary becomes extraordinary, and what was once spent for bread is now worth more than a lifetime of savings. And make no mistake, this is not some inflated rumor. This is today's reality. The value of this coin is climbing higher and higher, with every sale proving that its demand is unstoppable. Wait for time and you will see this dime skyrocket even further. The collectors who already own one know they are holding on to a treasure that grows in value while the rest of the world is still searching. For collectors hunting this rarity, here's my advice. Study the details carefully. Look for strong outlines of Liberty's features and clarity in the faces. Even in circulated grades, sharpness and originality matter. Avoid polished or altered coins because authenticity is the lifeblood of value. And remember, professional certification is key. It transforms your coin from a curiosity into a recognized treasure, and that's when the real bidding wars begin. In conclusion, the 1931 Mercury dime without mint mark is not just another coin. It is a relic of hardship, a masterpiece of design, and a treasure that transforms lives. It is proof that what may look ordinary can, in truth, be extraordinary beyond imagination. And here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, I give you nothing but the freshest, most faithful truths, because these coins are treasures that don't just shine in silver, they shine in value, in history, and in destiny itself. Coin number 4. And now, friends, we move into a whole new realm of treasure hunting. After exploring the shining silver Mercury dimes, it's time to unlock a coin that may look like the simplest copper cent in your hand. But in truth, it carries a story so deep and a value so staggering that it can leave even seasoned collectors in awe. I'm talking about the 1942 wheat penny without mint mark, carrying a mysterious black shade, preserved in fine condition. The wheat penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the first U.S. coin to ever bear this portrait of a real person, and it has remained one of the most beloved coins in American history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse shows a bold, dignified portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, facing right, with the motto, "In God we trust," above his head and "Liberty" to his left. The reverse design, which collectors call the wheat ears reverse, features 2 stalks of wheat encircling the words 1 cent and United States of America. These wheat stalks symbolize prosperity and growth, a fitting message during the first half of the 20th century. Now, the 1942 issue was struck during a time when America was preparing to fully enter World War II. Philadelphia struck millions of these coins, yet survival in collectible condition is a different story altogether. Most pennies were heavily circulated, used daily in wartime America for food, transport, and survival. But every once in a while, a coin emerges from that sea of circulation with something rare, something unique, something that transforms it from common change into a true collector's prize. This specific 1942 wheat penny without mint mark is one such example. Its black shade across the surface gives it an almost mysterious aura, a patina earned through decades of time, exposure, and natural toning. Far from being a flaw, this deep coloration enhances its uniqueness. Collectors prize these dark-toned pennies because they stand apart, each one telling its own story of survival. Add to that the fact that this coin is preserved in fine condition, where Lincoln's profile is still clear, the wheat stalk still bold, and what you have is a penny that rises above the ordinary. But here's where the story takes its most thrilling turn, the value. This is not just any penny. This is a treasure hiding in plain sight. A 1942 wheat penny without mint mark, with its rare black shaded surface and fine preservation, is commanding a current market value of $142,500 in today's auction houses. Yes, you heard that correctly, over $142,000 for a single copper penny. This is the kind of fortune that transforms pocket change into treasure. This is reality, not fiction. And the price is not static. It is rising steadily as more collectors realize the rarity and beauty of such coins. Think about it. Millions of 1942 wheat pennies were minted. But how many have survived like this? The answer is painfully few. And that is exactly why collectors are chasing after this piece like treasure hunters. The market demand is powerful, and with every auction, the hammer price climbs higher. Wait for time, and this coin will only increase in value. It is not just a coin, it is a treasure chest wrapped in copper. For collectors, here's my faithful tip. When searching for a 1942 wheat penny, always pay attention to toning and condition. Unique shades, like the black patina we see here, can elevate a coin from ordinary to extraordinary. In fine condition, the details of Lincoln's bust and the wheat stalks should remain strong, and originality matters more than anything. Certification by a trusted grading company transforms such a coin into a verified treasure, ensuring its authenticity and unleashing its full market potential. In conclusion, the 1942 wheat penny without mint mark, black shade, and fine condition is not a simple cent. It is a remarkable survivor of wartime America, a coin that carries history, artistry, and a treasure value that shocks the imagination. Owning this penny is like holding a relic that the world desperately wants, a fortune that grows stronger with every passing year. And here on Rare US Coin Secrets, I share with you only the freshest, most faithful updates because these coins are not just collectibles, they are powerful treasures waiting to be discovered. Coin number 5. And now, my friends, as we continue uncovering the secret treasures of American coinage, let me bring forward another coin that will leave you stunned. It may look like an ordinary cent at first glance, but when collectors and auctioneers see it, they know immediately that it is far more than meets the eye. I'm talking about the 1942 wheat penny without mint mark, with its distinctive brown spots and circulated condition, a coin that is setting today's auction market ablaze. The wheat penny, introduced in 1909, remains one of the most iconic coins in the United States. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse proudly displays Abraham Lincoln, the great emancipator, in a bold and timeless portrait. For over a century, his image has graced the cent. But in these early wheat penny issues, there is something truly historic. The reverse, with 2 graceful wheat stalks encircling 1 cent, represents prosperity, growth, and America's enduring strength during the first half of the 20th century. The 1942 issue was minted at a time when America was teetering at the edge of full involvement in World War II. Every coin mattered, every cent had purchasing power, and nearly all were spent, circulated, and worn into oblivion. That is why when a survivor emerges, even in circulated condition, it becomes a jewel of numismatic history. Now let's look closely at this remarkable example. The brown spots across its surface are not imperfections. They are history itself, the marks of time. These natural tones develop as copper reacts to air and environment over decades, creating patterns that make each coin entirely unique. Collectors treasure this individuality because it transforms a coin into a one-of-a-kind artifact. Add to that the circulated condition where Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalk still stand strong despite decades of use, and what you have is a penny that radiates character, authenticity, and survival. Here's where the story takes its most breathtaking twist: the value. While countless ordinary pennies from 1942 exist, a rare survivor like this, with its distinct character and collector demand, is commanding a staggering market value. A 1942 wheat penny without mint mark, brown spots, and circulated condition is valued today at around $140,500. Yes, that's right, over $140,000 for a single penny. This is not fantasy. This is the truth of today's auction market. Think about it. A coin once spent on wartime goods, passed hand-to-hand during one of the most dramatic moments in USA history, now emerges as a treasure that could make its owner feel like they've uncovered a chest of fortune. This is why collectors chase it so passionately, because the rarity and demand drive the price higher every single day. And let me tell you, the trajectory is only upward. The market value is climbing, and wait for time. You will see it rise even more. This is a treasure that does not weaken. It grows stronger with every passing year. For collectors, here's a vital tip. When hunting 1942 wheat pennies, do not dismiss those with unique toning or spots. While some may overlook them, true collectors know that individuality can dramatically enhance value. Always preserve originality, never attempt to clean or alter such coins because their natural state is what gives them power. And as always, certification from a professional grading service will unlock its full potential in the marketplace, giving you both trust and treasure in your hand. In conclusion, the 1942 wheat penny without mint mark, with its brown spots and circulated survival, is not a flaw-ridden coin. It is a masterpiece of history, rarity, and character. It embodies the resilience of wartime America, the artistry of Brenner's design, and the power of treasure hidden in the simplest of places. Owning such a penny is like holding wealth wrapped in copper, a living reminder that even the humblest coin can become a fortune. And right here on Rare US Coin Secrets, you know that every story I tell you is fresh, faithful, and real, because these coins are not just collectibles, they are treasures that change lives. Coin number 6. And now, my treasure hunters, we arrive at the final masterpiece of today's journey, a coin that carries the soul of America's past, the elegance of time, and the kind of value that makes collectors' hearts race. This one is not just rare, it is breathtaking. Let me introduce you to the 1927 wheat penny without mint mark, with its rich brown shade, beautiful appearance, and fine condition. A coin that stands tall in today's auction market as one of the true treasures of numismatics. The wheat penny series, launched in 1909, was America's tribute to Abraham Lincoln, a man whose leadership saved the Union and gave new meaning to freedom. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse portrait of Lincoln has become one of the most iconic images in coin history. Bold, timeless, and instantly recognizable, this portrait has now graced our sense for more than a century. But there's something profoundly historic about these early wheat pennies, especially those from the 1920s, a decade of roaring prosperity followed by looming hardship. The 1927 issue was struck at Philadelphia, carrying no mint mark, and made from 95% copper with a small mix of tin and zinc. At first glance, it may look like any other old cent, but the difference is in the details, and collectors know it. This particular survivor glows with a rich brown shade that gives it character, depth, and beauty. It's not just a penny, it's a piece of art that time itself has painted. In fine condition, the details of Lincoln's portrait remain sharp, the lettering is strong, and the wheat stalks on the reverse still display their symbolic power of growth and prosperity. But rarity is what truly makes this coin legendary. While millions were struck in 1927, most were lost to circulation, worn down beyond recognition, or destroyed. To find one today in fine condition, with such an elegant natural brown patina, is like discovering a diamond among stones. Collectors recognize this instantly. The demand for 1927 wheat pennies in high preservation is fierce, and the few that surface are treated like treasures. Now let's reveal this part that will make your heart skip a beat: the current value. A 1927 wheat penny without mint mark, with its brown shade and fine preservation, is valued today at an astonishing $170,500. That's right, over $170,000 for a single copper cent. And let me assure you, this is not fiction, not exaggeration. These are real values in today's auction market, fresh and faithful to the truth. A coin once spent in daily commerce, passed from hand to hand during the bustling 1920s, has transformed into a treasure chest in the modern world. And here's the thrilling part: the value is climbing higher every day. With every sale, every auction, every battle between collectors, the price soars. Wait for time, and this coin will become even more valuable, because treasures like this do not fade. They grow stronger as history itself becomes rarer. Owning such a coin is like having wealth wrapped in copper, a fortune that grows while you simply hold it. For collectors, here's a golden tip. When you're hunting for early wheat pennies like the 1927, always pay attention to color and detail. The rich brown toning is a sign of natural age and preservation, not a flaw. Fine condition ensures the design is still crisp, and that is what drives demand. Never clean or alter such coins, as originality is the crown jewel of value. And as always, certification transforms your coin into a recognized treasure, unlocking its full power in the market. In conclusion, the 1927 wheat penny without mint mark, brown shade, fine condition, is far more than a coin. It is a relic of America's past, a piece of artistry, and a treasure whose value reaches into the six figures. It is proof that even the humblest cent can rise to become a king among coins. And right here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, I bring you the freshest, most faithful truths about treasures like this, because this channel is your key to discovering the secrets that others only dream about. So there you have it, 6 ultra-rare, breathtaking coins that are rewriting the definition of value in today's auction markets. From Mercury dimes that shine like silver crowns to wheat pennies that hide treasures within their humble copper, every coin we explore today proves one undeniable truth: hidden fortunes are out there, waiting to be discovered. If you're holding one of these treasures in your hand, know that you are not holding a coin. You are holding a piece of history, a living fortune, a treasure chest that grows richer with every passing year. And if you're still searching, let this video guide your journey, because here on Rare U.S. Coin Secrets, I give you daily updates, fresh truths, and faithful stories of treasures that can change lives. Stay tuned, stay excited, and never stop searching. Because your next pocket change might just be the key to your own treasure.